So it's going to be a mixture of yin and restorative yoga, and we're going to be holding the poses for about 2 to 3 minutes. So what we'll need for this session is I have here my buckwheat pillow. So a nice thick hardy pillow for your back to keep your back arched up. So any type of pillows you guys may have, may you go and grab that. Also a blanket or a yoga blanket, something to keep yourself warm with as we're holding the poses for a little bit longer. Sometimes the body tends to get a little bit cold. We might go into the yoga strap, so grab your yoga strap if you have it, and as many pillows or bolster pillows as you may find for our session here today in our restorative flow. And we're going to dull our lights, light a candle, grab some water, something to drink, and just allow our mind and our bodies to relax and soothe as we find ourselves in a comfortable seated pose. Any seat that feels good for you, may you find your position. Tummies are tucked in at the navel, spinal cords are nice and elongated. Shoulders relax downward away from the ears. Eyes are slightly gazed down to closed. Breathe in deeply. Exhale. Taking a moment to notice how the breath feels within the body as we breathe our palms at heart center, coming into a seated prayer. Breathe in. Exhale. 2 more breaths. We're going to breathe our palms up above our heads, coming into that seated salute. Separating our palms in that extended mountain as we breathe in. Exhale, twist the body towards the right, palms come down. We're going to gaze over that right shoulder, coming into that spinal twist. Allowing those eyes to gaze down to close. 30 seconds. Hmm. 10 more seconds. Exhaling back to center, coming into that star. Palms are out towards the side. Breathe in. Exhale, twist the body towards the left. Palms come down as we gaze over that left shoulder. Spinal twist, opposite side. 30 seconds. Ten more seconds. Exhaling back to center, coming into that star, flowing into that salute. As we breathe our palms at heart center, seated prayer, relaxing those shoulders downward away from the ears. Taking a nice deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. As we flow onto our backs, coming into a reclined position, may we use this time to grab a pillow, a bolster, and place it at the center of our back. So placing that pillow right above your gluteus maximus and that curvature of the back. And taking a notice of how that feels. We're going to work on our fish pose. We're going to straighten our legs. We're going to lift our heart chakra up. Noticing how that feels. Now, In our flying fish, our feet are off the earth and our palms are at heart center. But we're going to rest here if we choose. Relaxing our legs side by side, pillow is underneath our backs, and our heart chakra is slightly lifted up. Our feet are side by side, allowing them to fall, relaxing to the side. Shoulder blades melts to the back. Eyes are gazed downward or closed. We're going to hold this pose 2 minutes. We have 1 more minute left in this flying fish. We can option to remove that pillow from our lower back and come into a flying fish. Or we can stay in our restorative fish pose, whatever feels best for you. 60 seconds. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. Holding on to this fish pose, we're going to place our feet flat on the earth. Our knees are high in the air. And we're going to come into a bridge pose, using our feet to lift our gluteus maximus off the earth. Lifting that gluteus maximus up, we are in our bridge pose. If we want to be in our resting bridge, we're going to slide that pillow down underneath our gluteus maximus. Our buttocks is on the pillow, allowing our buttocks to relax on the pillow. You'll feel your pelvic bone tilts forward. Your heart chakra is slightly lifted off the earth. Our shoulder blades are melted back into the yoga mat. Palms are relaxed on our sides. Eyes are slightly gazed down and closed in our bridge pose or restorative bridge. Breathe in. Exhale. 2 minutes. Optioning to walk our shoulder blades, our shoulders closer to our spine, allowing our chest, heart chakra to come higher in the air. Squeezing our spinal cord, noticing that heart chakra lifts. Bridge pose, 60 seconds. Mm. 10 more seconds. Five. With our feet flat on the earth, our knees are still in the air. We're going to window wipe our knees from side to side. Optioning to lift the gluteus maximus and remove the pillow, or optioning to keep that pillow underneath the buttocks or the lower back as we window wiper our legs. 30 seconds. Maybe adjust the pillow at your lumbar spine to notice how it feels different, depending on if the pillow is at your lumbar spine or underneath your gluteus maximus, or if there's no pillow at all. 10 more seconds. Windshield wipers. 5. Finding our pause at center, keeping our feet flat on the earth, knees are in the air. We're going to lift our gluteus maximus off the earth, coming into a bridge pose. And we're going to pulse that gluteus maximus up and squeeze it nice and tight. Squeeze, squeeze, 30 seconds. Optioning to pulse that bridge up and down if that feels good. 15 more seconds. We're rounding and tightening that gluteus maximus. 10 seconds. Five. In our bridge pose, we can option to remove the pillow as we flow into a legs on a wall. Optioning to come up to a wall and place your legs up on the wall, or we can do our legs on an invisible wall. Also call this waterfall pose. Optioning to point your toes up like a ballerina's foot, noticing how that feels. Legs on a wall, our backs are relaxed into the yoga mat. Eyes are gazed downward or closed. Breathe in. Exhale. 2 minutes. optioning to come wide-legged, straddle pose, legs on the wall, wide-legged. Feeling that stretch in your inner thighs. 60 more seconds. And now we're wide-legged, legs on the wall, straddle pose. We can option to breathe our feet towards our hands, connecting our feet to our hands or our ankles. Simply just breathing those feet closer to the head and feeling that stretch. 30 more seconds. 10 seconds. Let's breathe our legs together back in that legs on the wall waterfall pose. And we're going to breathe our legs over our head or towards our head. Breathing the legs, feeling that stretch in your hamstrings, placing the hands at the bottoms and backs of the legs. Or we can connect our hands to our ankles or our feet. As we breathe our feet, our legs over our head, you'll feel it stretch behind your legs and your hamstrings, as well as your lumbar spine. 20 seconds. You can option to flow into a shoulder press pose if that feels good, or a shoulder stance pose. Ten more seconds. 5. Slowly releasing out to legs on the wall, waterfall pose. We're going to hug our knees into our chest, squeeze them in, squeeze, squeeze, nice and tight. Hug them in. Wrapping our arms around our lower legs. Breathe in. Exhale. Placing our feet flat on the earth, our knees are in the air. We're going to take our pillow and place it between our thighs, rolling onto our side, coming into a fetal pose. Knees, we have a pillow between our knees, aligning our hips, placing a pillow or blanket underneath your neck. And we're going to relax and soothe here in this fetal pose for 60 seconds. Eyes are gazed downward or closed. Breathe in. Exhale. Optioning to roll over to your other side, doing fetal pose in the opposite direction, just relaxing and twisting the body over. If that feels good for you, fetal pose, another 30 seconds. 10 more seconds. Five more breaths, taking a moment to notice how the pillow between the knees keeps the hips nice and aligned. Exhaling out, removing that pillow, coming back to our backs, recline position. Knees are in the air, feet are flat on the earth. We're going to come into a reclined spinal twist, allowing the knees to flow towards the left. Reclined spinal twist, knees flows to the left. Right arm comes out to the side like a lowercase t. We can gaze up at the heavens or we can gaze over our right shoulder. Coming deeper in that spinal twist with our shoulder blades melted back into the yoga mat, feeling the body soothe. Here in this reclined spinal twist, we can option to come into a reclined spinal twist hand to toe by connecting our left hand to our right foot and breathing it off to the side. Reclined spinal twist hand to toe is an option. We're going to hold this for 2 minutes. Mm. 60 more seconds. Mhm. 5 seconds. We're going to roll back onto our backs, hugging our knees into our chest. Breathe in. Exhale, allowing our knees to flow towards the right. Recline spinal twist, opposite side. Knees flows to the right. Left arm goes out to the side like a lowercase t. Optioning to gaze up at the heavens or gaze over your left shoulder. Allowing those shoulder blades to melt close to the yoga mat. Body's relaxed. Eyes are gazed downward or closed. We can option to come into a reclined spinal twist hand to toe by connecting our left foot to our right hand. And feeling that stretch is an option. Or we can simply just keep our knees bent. Whatever feels good for you. 2 minutes. 60 more seconds. Ten seconds. 5, slightly rolling back into that fetal pose, using a pillow between your knees. 10 breaths, fetal pose. Hmm. 5 breaths. We're going to remove that pillow from between our knees. We're going to flow onto our tummies. We're going to come into a half frog, starting on the left side. Breathing that left leg out, placing that pillow right underneath that left leg, left knee, whatever feels comfortable for you. And we're laying on our tummies. We have a pillow or a yoga blanket in front of us as our heart chakra comes close and connects to the earth. We can breathe our palms in front of us, stacking our hands together and simply just laying down on our hands or on our pillows, whatever feels best for you to get into that half frog. Using that pillow to keep that hip leveled and elevated. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, gaze in the eyes down. 2 minutes. $60. Ten seconds. Taking a nice breath. Exhale. We're going to slowly transition to frog pose opposite side, coming up on our hands and our knees, tabletop, Placing that pillow on the opposite side, breathing that opposite leg out, half frog. Allowing the torso to come close to the earth, using that pillow in front of the body, stacking our palms, our arms in front of us as our heart chakra connects to the earth. Eyes slightly gaze down to close. Breathe in, exhale, half frog, 2 minutes. Mm. 60 seconds. Mm. 10 seconds. Mm. 5. Taking a nice breath. Exhale. Slowly removing that pillow. Coming onto our hands and our knees. Tabletop pose. We're going to drop down to cow. Knees are hip distance apart. Palms are flat on the earth. Exhale, cat. Mm. Coming back to table. And we're going to flow on down to a child's pose or a puppy pose. Using our pillows. Maybe grabbing our biggest pillow we have and placing it in front of us. In our child's pose, our buttocks are closer to our heels. In the puppy pose, our buttocks is high in the air and our heart chakra comes down close to the earth. Using the pillows to come into a restorative child's pose or puppy pose if that feels good for you. Pillows are just an option. With our heart chakra coming close to the earth, eyes are gazed downward or closed. Allowing those shoulder blades to melt forward. Breathe in. Exhale. 2 minutes. Mm. Mm. 60 more seconds. Taking a nice breath. Exhale. Moving our pillows away from our bodies. Let's come to our tabletop. We're going to push our bodies up to down dog, gazing at the feet. Shifting our weight forward, high plank. Back to down dog, gazing at the feet. As we flow into a three-legged dog, right leg flows up in the air. Taking a nice breath. Exhale, pigeon pose. We're going to breathe that right foot forward. Left leg goes straight out to the back. Pigeon pose. Feeling this stretch in the body. Left leg straight to the back. Right leg is forward. Now we can breathe our pillows, bring our pillows back in front of us and come into that sleeping pigeon if we choose. Allowing our shoulders to melt forward. Heart chakra comes close to the earth. God, eyes are gazed down or closed. Sleeping pigeon. Or we can be up in our awakened pigeon and feel that stretch, whatever feels best for you and your body. Taking a nice deep breath. Exhale. Sleeping pigeon or awakened pigeon. If we're in that awakened pigeon, may we take the time to gaze over our right shoulder, feeling that spinal twist in our pigeon pose. Exhaling back forward, optioning to flow down into that sleeping pigeon or hanging out in our awakened pigeon. 60 seconds. Optioning to use your yoga block or pillow if we're in our sleeping pigeon for your forehead to relax and rest on. Breathe in, exhale, allowing the body to relax and soothe, shoulders melt forward. 30 more seconds. Ten seconds. Slowly awakening from that sleeping pigeon, using our palms to lift our torso away from the earth. We're going to option to gaze over our right shoulder, feeling that spinal twist. 3 more breaths. Exhaling back to center, untucking that left foot, and we're going to come to down dog, gazing at the feet. Shifting our weight forward, high plank, hovering over the yoga mat. Tummies are tight. Exhaling back to down dog, gazing at the feet. As we flow to three-legged opposite side, left foot flows up in the air, gazing back at that foot. Taking a nice breath. Exhale, pigeon pose opposite side. That left foot flows forward, coming and crossing it in front of the body. And our right foot, our right leg is straight to the back. Feeling that stretch. Once again, optioning to come into that sleeping pigeon. Using our pillows in front of us if that feels good. Also optioning for the yoga block as our heart chakra comes down close to the earth. Shoulder blades melts forward. Eyes are gazed downward or closed. Breathe in. Exhale. Or we can option to be up in our awakened pigeon, using our palms to lift our torso away from the earth as we slightly gaze over our left shoulder. Feeling that slight spinal twist. Allowing those eyes to gaze down or close. Optioning to gaze back forward and coming down to that sleeping pigeon if that feels best for you and your body, or we can stay in that awakened pigeon. We're going to keep those eyes gazed down and closed, allowing the heart chakra to melt close to the earth. Feeling your shoulder blades melt forward. Sixty more seconds. Ten more seconds. Five. And we're going to slowly push our bodies up into that awakened pigeon and slightly gaze over that left shoulder, feeling that spinal twist. 3 breaths. 2. Exhaling back to center. We are in that awakened pigeon, and we're going to allow our bodies to flow into a wide-legged stance. So just swinging that right leg forward and breathing that left leg out to the side. Nice and wide-legged straddle pose. Feeling this stretch in the thighs. We can option to breathe, bring those big old pillows back in front of the body. And in our wide-legged stance, we can point our toes downward towards the earth in a ballerina's foot, or we can keep our feet up facing the heavens as we hinge, lean forward, allowing our torso to relax and soothe over our pillows. We can also option to use a yoga block, place it either position that feels best for you as we hinge forward and allow our forehead to relax on our yoga block. Whatever feels best for you. Taking a nice breath. Exhale. Eyes gaze down to close. "60 seconds. We're going to use our hands to slightly lift our bodies up. We're going to twist our bodies towards the right, and we're going to hover over that right thigh, feeling that stretch, that pull behind your legs and your right hamstring. Taking a nice breath. Exhale as our torso flows and relaxes over that thigh. Feeling your shoulder blades melt forward. Allowing the head to drop downward towards the knee, if that feels good, as we connect our hands to our ankles or our feet. 10 seconds. Five seconds. Exhaling up to center, twisting our bodies to center position. As we allow our torso to turn towards the left and allow our torso to relax over that left thigh. Feeling that stretch in the hamstrings of that left leg. As our heart chakra comes closer to that thigh, shoulder blades melt forward, eyes gaze downward or close. Optioning to reach down, connecting our hands to our ankles or our foot. Taking a nice deep breath. Exhale. 30 more seconds. Ten seconds. Five. Exhaling back to center. We're going to place our palms in front of us, flat on the earth, feeling that stretch. Dropping that head downward, closer to the earth. Take a nice breath. Exhale up, using our palms to lift our torso away from the earth. We are nice and wide-legged. Only for a second, we're going to come into a cow face leg or any seated pose that feels good for you. Cow face, we're going to simply breathe one leg under the other and cross that opposite leg on the top. Or any seated pose that feels best for you and your body. With our spinal cords nice and elongated, tummies are tucked in at our navel, shoulder blades relaxed downward away from our ears. Taking a nice deep intentional breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Breathe in deeply. Exhale. Breathing our palms at heart center, coming into a seated prayer. Flowing our palms up in the air, coming into that salute. Separating our palms, extended mountain. Twisted the body towards the right, palms come down, gazing over that right shoulder for 3 breaths. 2, 1. Exhale back to center, coming into that star. Breathe in. Exhale, twist the body towards the left, gazing over the left shoulder, palms down towards the earth. Breathe in. Exhale. 2 more breaths. Exhaling back to center as our arms flow above our heads, come into salute. Exhale into prayer. Relaxing the shoulders, eyes gaze down. Breathe in. Exhale. As we use this time to thank ourselves for allowing ourselves to practice self-care here today. For in a busy, busy world, it is a beautiful thing when we find time for self. I would like to thank you all for allowing me to practice self-care with you here today, for it truly, truly is a blessing. The light in me sees, appreciates, and respects the light in you all. Thank you. Namaste.